Hello everyone and welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Rainbow.
Yes, you are, and today it is our daily conversation unit. Now, this month we're going to be looking at one of the hardest things you have to do with a conversation, that is to start a conversation. Having the conversation is the easy part. Starting it can be difficult. Now, in our dialogue, we're going to have a great way to start a conversation. Talk about the weather. Right? Because the weather affects everyone.
Yeah.
It's something that everyone has an opinion on. So that is a good one. We're going to be reading about that. What's another way, though, that you could start a conversation with someone you've never met before, maybe at a party or just, standing on the street waiting for the bus?
Yeah, I would introduce myself.
Okay.
And then I would say, what do you do?
Oh, okay. You could talk about your job or something like that. I think another good one, compliment someone. Hey, that's a really nice top you're wearing. Where did you get that?
Ah, thank you.
And then you can talk about clothes and shopping and fashion or, anything that you notice around you or notice about the person in a kind way. You would use that to talk about them and to start a conversation. But the weather, classic one, especially when the weather is kind of difficult like it is in Taiwan during the summer. Let's check out our dialogue.
Hot enough for you?
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
I heard that it got up to 38 degrees.
Summer in Taipei is no joke. The elevator's so slow in this building.
When the weather is cool, I usually take the stairs. But in this heat, forget it.
I wish I had that option. My apartment's on the 12th floor.
After you.
All right, talking about the weather. Great way to start a conversation. Let's see what's going on here. It says Becky is waiting for the elevator and Mario joins her. All right, so a normal situation. You might be waiting for someone. That's a good time to have a conversation. Here, we're waiting for the elevator. What is the elevator? It's that thing that goes up and down in a tall building. It's kind of a box. It gets moved by motors. You press a button, the door is open, you get in, you choose your floor, the doors close, and then a few seconds later, you are where you want to go in the elevator. For example, this elevator does not stop on the 10th floor. Why?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Very weird.
All right, most elevators will stop on every floor, but in this case it didn't. So they're waiting for the elevator. Maybe it's a tall building, right? And you might be standing there for 30 seconds or a minute or something like that. Time to start a very casual conversation.
So, of course, Becky says, whew, hot enough for you?
Ah, okay. So it's a good way to talk about the weather. She might actually say more like hot enough for you, kind of in a casual way. Basically saying it's really hot. Is it hot enough for you? There's a little bit of a joke here at what we would call sarcasm. It's probably really hot.
Too hot.
Exactly. And so she's kind of like, do you think it's hot enough? And Mario, he does, of course. He says, yeah, it's pretty hot. I agree. It is very warm.
Becky says, I heard that it got up to 38 degrees. So here we're looking at Celsius because we're in Taiwan, right? That's 38 degrees. That's crazy.
That's very hot, yeah.
Oh, so 1 degree, that's like the Celsius. In America, they do Fahrenheit. In Canada, they do Celsius too, right?
They do, yeah.
So, degree, I have a sentence for you. Bake the chicken at 230 degrees for around 15 minutes.
Okay,
So then you have to set the oven to 230.
Right, yeah. A degree is just a unit of measurement. The symbol is a little circle, generally, right? A little circle with maybe C or F if we're talking about temperature. The other time you might see degree is in math, right? 90 degrees or 180 degrees or something like that. But in both of those cases, we're measuring things differently, but a degree is just 1 unit. All right, so we're talking about 1 measurement of something. Mario, back to the temperature, 38 degrees. He says summer in Taipei is no joke.
Oh.
If something is no joke, it's not funny, basically.
Seriously hot.
He's saying it's basically really, really hot here. It's not something you just go, oh yeah, it's a little warm. No, it's really hot. Looking at the elevator floor indicator, this is what Mario is doing. He's kind of, when's the elevator coming? So, you know, the numbers are moving very slowly. He says the elevator's so slow in this building. Yeah, it's strange. Some buildings do have very slow elevators, and so you have to wait a long time until you can get on.
So Becky says, when the weather is cool, I usually take the stairs. But in this heat, forget it. So Becky seems really healthy. She likes to exercise. If it's not that hot, she would go up the stairs. I wonder how many floors she would have to go up.
I guess if it's 4, 5, 6 floors, yeah, you might climb the stairs. But right, if it's really hot in the building, that would be a lot less fun. Mario, he says, I wish I had that option. I wish I could choose. An option is something you choose. I wish I had the option, or I could choose to climb the stairs, but he can't really. He says, my apartment's on the 12th floor.
Wow.
12 floors is pretty high, and maybe he's carrying some heavy shopping bags or, you know, something like that. You probably don't want to do that, especially when it's 38 degrees out.
Yeah.
And then it says, a few seconds later, ding, the elevator dings and the doors open. The elevator has arrived.
And so Becky says, after you.
Well, that's very polite of her.
Please go first.
And she probably makes that gesture with her hand, too,
Yes.
after you. So yeah, maybe he is carrying some heavy bags, and she's
Yeah.
just being kind and letting him get on the elevator. So there you go. She started a conversation. They talked about the weather. They passed a few seconds of, you know, casual, friendly chatting, and now they're on their way. All right, and we are on our way to a break.
Break.
Okay, so let's go do that. So what do you think of the weather today?
Oh, it's too hot.
No, it's been terrible.
34 degrees.
It's just the worst, but it's going to be nicer on the weekend.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们这2天的对话呢，是要学习如何开启话题，如何跟别人交谈。像在第一段对话里面 ，Becky 和 Mario 都在等电梯 ，Becky 就用天气来开启话题了。他就说 ，Hot enough for you？ 对你来说够热了吗？它其实是讽刺的方式来表达实在有够热的，天气热爆了。Mike 老师他刚刚用到 sarcasm 这个字 ，sarcasm，sarcasm 就可以表达讽刺、挖苦或是嘲笑的意思。好，那接着他们聊到气温，听说有高达38度，然后也聊到说那一栋电梯很慢。Becky 就说，天气凉爽的时候，他通常是会爬楼梯的。那么 Mario 他也希望自己能够有走楼梯的那个选项，可是他的公寓在12楼，走上去都累死了。好，这边有2个单字 ，elevator 表示电梯，那么 degree 表示度数，像我们说温度几度啊，角度几度这样子。那么在讲温度的时候，通常会用摄氏来表达。我们补充一下 ，Celsius。Celsius， 它是形容摄氏的。那么美国常常用华氏来表达 ，Fahrenheit 就是华氏的，它是拼作 Fahrenheit Fahrenheit。好，那这个段落有2个文法重点，我们就进入文法时间。大家好，我是文法界的女神 Fanny， 我们又见面了。来看今天的重点哦。第一个是 up to， 是指多达、高达，后面可以接数量或是程度等等。像我们可以说 The meeting room holds up to 50 people， 那间会议室能够容纳高达50人。好，第二重点是动词 wish， 它是指说希望、但愿。那么后面的子句呢，常常会用假设法，在表达跟现在事实相反啊，或者是不太可能实现的愿望时，我们来看它常用的句型是什么？主词加上 wish that， 主词加上过去式动词或者是 were。特别注意哦，这边 were 就是不管人称是什么，一律都是用 were， 或是你也可以用主词 wish that， 主词加上 would、could 或是 might 再加原形动词。那我们来造2个例句。 I wish I had a magic wand. 我真希望有一支魔法棒让我永生不老。好，再来看 I wish I could take my words back. 但愿我能把我的话收回来。好，那我们接着要回到课文里面咯。拜拜。
Have you eaten? I had some fruit for breakfast. Why? Do you want to get something?
See, it sounds like I'm asking you to lunch, right? I had the same reaction when our neighbor asked me if I had eaten.
Yeah, a lot of older people will say that. When they ask, have you eaten? It's similar in meaning to, how are you? It's an honest mistake. It's like when someone asks me, how do you do? I never know how to answer. How do you do what?
That's so true.
All right, so starting a conversation by talking about the weather. Easy, simple, great way to do it. Let's look at another one. This one I'd say is a little more unusual, at least for me, but the title there, Have You Eaten?
Oh, very Taiwanese.
I guess so, yeah. I've heard people here do that, but I don't know about if I would do that in the West. But certainly in Taiwan, it's a good way to do it and something foreigners might notice, or something you might be able to tell foreigners when they come to Taiwan, is a way to start a conversation. So it looks like Becky is putting her things away when Yvonne walks in. Oh, so they're probably roommates. They probably live in the same place together.
So Becky says, have you eaten?
Have you eaten?
Huh.
So she asks Yvonne if she's had some food today, and Yvonne says, I had some fruit for breakfast. So she tells her, yes, I had breakfast, I had fruit. And then this is kind of a strange thing to say when you just walk into the room, right? And so Yvonne seems a little confused. Yeah, I had fruit for breakfast. Why? Do you want to get something? Are you saying you didn't eat and you wanted me to go out and get some food with you or something?
Yeah, it does sound like that.
It's a little strange.
So Becky says, see, it sounds like I'm asking you to lunch, right?
Yeah.
I had the same reaction when our neighbor asked me if I had eaten.
Oh, so she's just doing what happened to her just before when another person asked her the question. Interesting. So now Yvonne understands the situation. She laughs, and she kind of understands what's going on and why Becky thinks this is weird. So she laughs. Oh, okay. Yeah, Yvonne explains, a lot of older people will say that.
Yeah,
so
they do.
An older Taiwanese lady, maybe in her building or something like that. When they ask, have you eaten, Yvonne explains, it's similar in meaning to, how are you? Mm-hmm. So it's not really talking about food and let's get some food. It's just a way of saying hi or how are you doing today or something like that. It's an honest mistake, Yvonne says, a mistake to get confused by what she means when she says, have you eaten? And then she explains, it's like when someone asks me, how do you do? I never know how to answer. How do you do what?
How do you do it?
How do you do? Yeah, hi, I'm Mike. How do you do? You might say. And of course, I just mean, how are you?
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, how do you do what? How do you make your bed? How do you ride a bike? How do you fix a computer? How do you fly an airplane? How do you do what? No, it just means, how are you?
It's very weird.
It is weird.
So Becky laughs and says, oh, that's so true.
Right, asking someone if they've eaten when you really want to know if they're feeling okay today, or how do you do something when you just want to know if they feel okay today. Yeah, it's not surprising that people, especially people new to the language or the culture, would have a strange reaction. A reaction is basically when something happens, what happens after. So when A happens, what is B? Basically, if someone asks you a question, your reaction would be to answer that question. If someone throws something at you, your reaction might be to cover your face or something like that. Or if someone around you sneezes, your reaction might be to say bless you or to give them a tissue paper or something like that. Often we don't think about these reactions. They just sort of happen naturally. But when A happens, what is B? B would be the reaction. For example, Monique's reaction to the news was not what I had expected. I told her she was fired and she went, "Yay!"
I wanted to quit anyway.
Yeah, I guess she was happy about getting fired. That's not what I expected.
Okay, so here we have another word which is similar, and we said that how do you do is similar to how are you, or have you eaten is similar to are you well today. So similar to means almost the same, has the same meaning, is similar to, is very much like something else. For example, I can say the movie is similar to one that came out 20 years ago. So maybe the plot line is very much the same, the characters look alike, or the story is very similar. So it's used to compare two things, saying they're very much alike.
Okay, so they're not exactly the same, but they're the same
close.
in many, many important ways.
That's
All
right.
So there you go. Did you eat?
Sorry, one more time?
Have you eaten yet? 吃饱了吗?
吃饱了吗? That's right.
Good. All right.
I have. How about you?
No, actually, I'm really hungry. Do you
Oh
wanna
my
go get some
gosh.
food?
Yeah, let's do that now.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
We'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Bye.
在第二段对话里面 ，Becky 正在整理东西。那她看到 Yvonne 走进来，就问她说：“吃饱了吗？”吃饱未 ？Yvonne 回答说：“她有吃一点水果当早餐了。”可是她很好奇 Becky 干嘛这样问她，是要约她一起吃饭吗？其实 Becky 是在测试她的反应，因为有邻居问 Becky 吃饱未，然后 Becky 跟 Yvonne 也是同样反应，觉得说：“哈。”你是要约我吃饭吗？那么 Yvonne 就是笑着解释说啊，很多老一辈的呢都用这样的方式来打招呼。假爸爸这意思就很像英文说的 How are you 是很相似的。这边有两个单字 reaction 它表示反应回应。那么 similar 它是形容是类似的、相仿的、相似的。那单字例句写到说这部电影跟20年前上映的那一部电影相似。Rainbow 老师说可能是剧情情节啊，或者是角色安排是很相似的。这时候老师用到 plot line， 它意思就相当于 plot， 可以用来表达情节的意思。那这个段落有一个文法重点，我们就进入文法时间。来了，我们来看这一个重点，就是片语动词 put away， 它表示把什么收起来，它是用来表达把某个东西收起来，把它放到原本的地方。特别注意 ，put away 是可分片语动词，就是说呢，你可以用 put something away 或是 put away something。可是如果受词是代名词，你记得要把受词摆在 put 跟 away 之间，像 put it away，put them away。好，我们来造个例句。好，这时候要写妈妈上身 ，put your toys away， 把你的玩具给收起来。好，回到 Fanny 的状态。好，那以上就是今天文法重点，同学们不要被我吓到了，我们下次见，拜拜。
Hot enough for you?
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
I heard that it got up to 38 degrees.
Summer in Taipei is no joke. The elevator's so slow in this building.
When the weather is cool, I usually take the stairs, but in this heat, forget it.
I wish I had that option. My apartment's on the 12th floor.
After you.
Have you eaten? I had some fruit for breakfast. Why? Do you want to get something?
See, it sounds like I'm asking you to lunch, right? I had the same reaction when our neighbor asked me if I had eaten.
Yeah, a lot of older people will say that. When they ask, have you eaten? It's similar in meaning to, how are you? It's an honest mistake. It's like when someone asks me, how do you do? I never know how to answer. How do you do what?
That's so true.
Hello there, I'm Zsolt.
I'm Kim.
And we're here to play Word Drop, where we each have 3 words that we have to bring into our conversation as casually as possible. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What would you like to talk about today?
Oh, that's
I
a good
know.
question.
Let's talk about stuffed animals. For some reason, that just came to my mind. I love stuffed animals.
Oh.
And one of these stuffed animal phrases get stuck in my head is Care Bears, and you have to put like a heart inside. It's really cute.
Oh.
I saw a video of a dog getting its own Care Bear.
Oh.
And yes, after you hear the rest of what I'm talking about, you're gonna think I'm crazy.
Well, I mean, that's all right. You can talk about whatever you want. I'll listen to you. It's okay. Because, in my opinion, everyone's crazy to a certain degree. Everyone is a little nuts in their own way.
What do you say? You know one of the fun ways to know if someone is crazy or not?
But you're gonna tell me what?
There's a story of when people, get into close spaces where they have nowhere else to go. It's not gonna be a horror movie, but if you're in a closed elevator, then people often look at their shoes instead of each other.
Oh, is that like the thing where people get into the elevator and instead of looking out, they all turn around and look at the back of the elevator so that they make the person who gets on feel really uncomfortable. And I guess you can do that if you want to see people's reaction to something that's really crazy and weird.
Yeah, like wearing a stuffed animal outfit. That'd be fun. These are some things that you can do with your free time if you're not crazy.
Okay, I see you're really into stuffed animals today.
It's on my mind. There's a blankness in my mind right now, and I like to fill that with a similar topic, like real animals.
Oh, real animals. Yeah, I like real animals. I've had some real animals in my life. I've had a dog. I like my dog. He's cute. Yes.
What's his name?
His name is Charlie. Yes, Charlie's a good dog.
Did you use your word? Did Charlie have another word?
No, but maybe it's time for me to put the cards away and pay attention to what you're saying.
See you next time!